Richard Corbett, Labour MEP for Yorkshire and the Humber. First of all, how seriously do you think we should take this outbreak of bird flu?
Well, I'm afraid, tragic as it is for the local producer, all these things have to be taken seriously to prevent what is already a tragedy becoming a catastrophe by spreading across the country or even beyond.
What are the requirements on the UK in this kind of situation when it comes to EU rules for bird flu?
Yeah, we've agreed with all EU countries to have some common rules on this. Also because we want to make sure that when this happens in another country, they take adequate measures to stop the disease spreading and coming to Britain. So we've all agreed common rules on this, which are quite strict, of course, but they are the only way to make sure that the disease doesn't spread further.
So what kind of rules are that the UK is required to follow? And I understand the UK has already started to enact some of these.
Yes, the DEFRA, the relevant UK department, acted very quickly on this, and there's no conflict or argument between the European Commission and the UK on this matter, and that's a good thing. And they are applying the rules that we've agreed everywhere, and in the immediate, this means a quarantine area where you can't take birds outside of that area during the period that the disease is dealt with in that area.
Given that there has been cases in Germany, in the Netherlands, and now of course in Yorkshire in the UK, do you see benefits of acting together in cases like this?
Yes, I think we were very glad when a similar thing happened elsewhere, like the Netherlands, that they took action to stop it spreading and stop the disease coming to Britain or to other places. So having a common set of rules and guidelines on what to do and how speedily you should act is very important on these matters.
The signs seem to be that this outbreak was caused by migratory wild birds, and apparently it's very easy for this flu to spread from bird to bird, and so we may well see other cases. Nonetheless, do you think these rules from Europe are valuable, worthwhile?
Yeah, there's little one can do to stop migratory birds, of course, but one can stop the birds that are being transported around for food supply chains and so on. There we can do something, and that's what we are doing, quite rightly.
At the moment, the Netherlands has a kind of countrywide ban on trade. At the moment in the UK, it's just restricted to this zone in Yorkshire. Obviously, different parts of the EU are looking out at this case, not least the potential impact on human health. The risks are, they say, very low, but the European Centre for Disease Control is involved. I guess that's because of previous diseases, previous outbreaks where we've seen where there has unfortunately been human cases.
Yeah, it's better to be safe than sorry, of course, but the early indications are that this is not transmissible to humans, and I hope that remains the case.
The value of acting together. The EU has already kind of praised the UK for putting into place these measures. The European Commission meeting this afternoon to officially declare this zone a reality. But UK's acted very, very quickly indeed, it seems.
Yes, indeed, but this is one of the benefits of having agreed common procedures beforehand instead of arguing about it afterwards, where, putting out the fire when the house is burning. It's better to have your rules established beforehand, and that's happened in this case. We have commonly agreed rules across the whole of Europe, and Britain has applied them, and everybody is pleased with that, not least in Britain, but also across the continent and Ireland.